Alright guys, we are starting a new game. Don't worry, I'm still gonna play the other games. Just that I've been waiting for this game. The music seems to be very, very loud. I just need to turn the music. That should be good. New game. A frosty welcome. Dear Mr. Charles Reed, as you requested research the outburst of hysteria and visions in the city of Oakmont, Mass. It turns out the assumptions were correct. Such cases are indeed more frequent here. Men and women from across the country are drawn to Oakmont, hunted by visions similar to yours, a city drawn in the presence of something great yet unknown. As luck has it, I believe we have stumbled upon the source of ailment, and the person who might help you with. Prepare yourself, then come to Oakmont as soon as you can. I will meet you here to help you on your way. Cordially, Johannes van der Borg. Okay, so we're meeting a German. Loading screens are the worst. That's very trippy. What's up?
Never trust a tourist advertisement.
I need to turn up sensitivity. Options. Settings. Gameplay. Camera sensitivity. There we go. Let's see how that feels. Subtitles on. Oh, I guess it's better. I have to hold it. That's what I already read. What am I supposed to do? I don't know. I feel weird. I need to turn up the sensitivity stuff. To the max. We go.
Now get out! Now get out! Now get out!
No, I'm gonna take a picture of you. Why to climb?
At last, Mr. Charles Reed. What a pleasure to finally meet you in the flesh.
Nice to meet you.
Johannes van der Berg, at your service.
Johannes
I did promise to
van der
meet you
Berg.
the moment you arrived.
Much
That is true.
obliged,
Yes, you
Mr.
did.
Vanderberg. I guess I didn't expect you to mean so literally.
Please call me Johannes. But where are my manners? Welcome to the proud city of Oakmont. Alas, now is not its finest hour, though it is its most important.
You said you know someone who can help me with my problem. The visions have been getting worse.
Such vividness of dreams is not uncommon here in Oakmont. By chance, the man I spoke of, Robert Throgmorton, is already at the port. He has dedicated a lot of time and effort to investigate this issue. Alas, I fear he has a more pressing matter on his hands.
Reaching Oakmont was no easy task. Most maps I found didn't mark it, and this rickety packet ship is the only one that sailed here. Why is that?
Oakmont is no ordinary place. Its unique geographical position and the flood, a recent natural disaster, make it nigh impossible to reach. But you made it, Mr. Reed. I'm sure the tides of fate would have brought you here one way or another.
Would it really?
How can I find Mr. Throgmorton?
Don't worry, you can't miss him. Throgmorton tends to stand out from the crowd.
Tell me about this flood.
It began 6 months ago. Storms raged for several weeks, and the water has risen ever higher without receding. Now the city is cut off from the mainland. I must say I rather like it, despite the inconvenience. Atmosphere, you know?
That's an eye-catching suit.
Thank you, Mr. Reed. A mere flood is no excuse for one to abandon one's style.
I take it you're a big fan of yellow.
Well, I have a particular weakness for it. Call it a personal quirk.
You look more like mustard.
I'll need a place to lay my head while I'm here. Any recommendations?
Fear not. I've already feathered a nest for you. There's a room in your name at the Devil's Reef Hotel. Here's the key.
Sounds charming.
Don't judge a book by its cover, Mr. Reed.
How do you fill your days, Mr. Vanderberg?
I host a philosophy club for the like-minded intelligentsia, gathering seeds of thought
Oh, que la
like
chingada.
moths drawn to a flame.
Does Oakmont really have much of a market for philosophy these days?
There is no consciousness without pain, Mr. Reed. No better moment for clarity than times of hardship.
What's the best way to get around Oakmont? I'd like to drop my things at the hotel.
Most locals go by foot or by boat. I've got the latter sorted for you. There's one waiting outside the port.
You're too kind, Johannes. Can you steer me towards the Devil's Reef?
Take this map. I've marked the hotel and a few other key places.
Other
Alrighty.
places? Like what?
You're a private eye, yes? Well, I've highlighted the police station, city archive, newspaper, places you'll need to get to the truth. This city is insular, its ways mysterious. No one will take you by the hand, so you better know where to turn in search of a lead.
Well,
Goodbye.
that's it for now, I think. Thanks for helping me get my bearings.
I didn't know goodbye
No,
meant
no.
that whole
The
line right
pleasure
there.
was mine, Mr. Reed.
Oh, before you go, how can I get in touch with you later?
Don't worry about that. I'm the kind of man who finds you.
Okay. This guy looks like he's carrying a backpack from high school. Like we used to, well, I used to carry it like that. I'm guessing that's the guy who stands out.
Do you like it here, newcomer? Well, get used to it. No one leaves Oakmont nowadays.
Why do you
Can't
say
catch a
that?
mackerel since those Innsmouthers took over the fishing business.
Do you like it here, newcomer?
Usually.
Well, get used to it.
Where's
No
your
one leaves
Oberon,
Oakmont
huh,
nowadays.
Titania? Something with this helmet gives me chills. What's wrong with it?
Can I take it? I hope someone finds this. My name is Albert Thorgmorton, and this is my will. I want to warn you, don't go to the depths below Oakmont. There's unreadable. We should never have done that. Everything should remain in the cave first unreadable. I fear that what will become of me in signing in my brain? Or singing in my brain. Whoops. Dancing in my eyelids every time I close my eyes. Unreadable. The cycle goes on and on and on and on and on. In the end it comes. I must warn everyone. I must tell my father. He's here. Oof. That's a big oof. Setting audio.
I don't care about your petty excuses. No one leaves the port until my son is found.
Why do you look
and
like a
that
gorilla?
is fine.
Excuse me. Are you Robert Throgmorton?
I am, but not interested. Go away.
The name's Charles Reed. I'm a private investigator, just arrived from Boston. I was told you might be able to help me.
Private investigator, you say? Well, perhaps we can help each other.
If I may ask, what happened to your son?
Why do you care? What's your angle, outsider?
Well, like I said, I'm a PI. Finding people is kind of my specialty.
Is it? Well, Albert was part of a deep-sea expedition I commissioned. This useless fool over here says he found Albert washed ashore in a lifeboat. Says he was barely conscious, out of his mind, talking gibberish in some other language. That he even tried to bite him.
And you don't believe him?
Complete malarkey. I know my Albert. I raised him strong and smart. The best
He also
of
looks
his
like a
kind.
gorilla?
It couldn't have been him. Albert's disappearance is the work of
Or a
Innsmouthers.
chimpanzee.
Mark my words.
I've heard you're the man to speak to about visions, outbreaks of hysteria. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it myself.
Another newcomer with another problem. Yes, I know what you speak of.
Can I ask you a few questions?
How dare you? My son Albert is missing, and no one in this Innsmouth-ridden city will do a damn thing. But yes, let's talk about your dreams.
I take it you're not the biggest fan of these Innsmouthers.
Those fish-faced freaks have overrun this city since the police burned Innsmouth to the ground. But now, those filthy migrants occupy half this damn city. The port, Grimhaven Bay, Salvation Harbor, the shells. They are everywhere.
So they're just refugees.
Hardly. They've taken work from the local fishermen. They stir and agitate against us, the Throgmorton family. We are the pillar of this community, not to mention that crime rates have skyrocketed. Simply speaking, they are a big stinking pile of trouble.
Please forgive the question, but I've never met a man quite like you before.
That's because no man measures up to the Throgmorton lineage. Proud and powerful blood flows through our veins. My father united with a certain royal family, which has blessed all our offspring with these exquisite features.
Mr. Throgmorton,
So like a gorilla.
let me help you. I'm rather good at tracking down missing people. I'll find Albert.
What makes you think you can do it? Oakmont is not exactly friendly to new arrivals.
Let's just say I tend to see things that others miss. And anyway, what have you got to lose? Sounds like you could use every man you can get.
Vera. You have a point, newcomer.
Sorry, did you just say Vera? What does that mean?
You had better get used to the Oakmont dialect, outsider. That is, if you want to fit in. It is a fascinating blend. Vera means fine. I was saying, we have a deal.
I see. Thank you. I need to know more about what happened to Albert.
Dane, did you not listen at all? I already told you everything. After leaving on the expedition, Albert was found on the shore in a lifeboat. This fisherman supposedly brought him to their house, and then left to call me. But when I arrived here, my son was nowhere to be seen.
Anything else?
Sounds
Clearly,
fishy.
something suspicious occurred inside the house. I suggest you stop dawdling and go see for yourself.
Oh,
Where's the house
where's
where
this
this all
fisherman's
happened?
house?
For Kay's sake, I thought you were a private eye. We're standing right in front of it.
You mentioned a lifeboat. Is it still around?
Yes. Face the house, then to the left is a beach that borders a fence. You'll find it there.
As much as I'm enjoying the weather, Mr. Throgmorton, it's time for me to get started.
Find my son, newcomer, and be quick about it.
Oh, I already saw the lifeboat over there. This is the house.
Don't do anything stupid, newcomer. And keep your
I've
hands
said
where I can
everything
see
I
'em.
know.
Can I have a shotgun? Ooh. Knocked down.
Huh. This dog mat looks better than the owner's bed.
Oh, that's right, I have to hold it. Can I have a trusty companion?
The book is damp and damaged, but clearly well cared for.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
It would take tremendous effort to move this thing, let alone tossing it over like this. Hello? Hey, can you hear me?
Oh, my head. What? Who are you? Are you police? I've already told them everything.
It's okay. I'm Charles Reed, Private Eye. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son.
Oh, okay. What do you want?
I want to know what happened here. Every detail.
I don't remember much. Me, Paul, and Lewis, we were here. This is our house. Barry was outside, on his business. Then he came back carrying Throgmorton's son. He was unconscious, barely breathing. Barry left again to call Mr. Robert.
Then what?
We put the guy in Lewis's room. Then he started to make these horrible sounds and... okay. My head began to burst. And he woke up. And after that, I don't remember a thing. Just dreams. Drowned streets, a sleeping giant, a voice that called me...
That sounds familiar. Tell me about
Yes,
yourself.
very.
Name's Will Hammond. I'm a fisherman. We all are. Live here together. Me, poor fella Paul, Barry, and Innsmouther Lewis Flynn. We moved here after the flood. I worked on the railroad, but the rail ain't kicking anymore, so I started fishing. It was out of starve.
Where are all the other guys?
That's Paul there on the floor. Kay be with him. Barry's outside with Mr. Throgmorton. Lucky rascal missed everything. And I have no idea where Lewis or Throgmorton's son got to. Starting to suspect the worst.
Do you know how Paul died?
I don't know. When I pulled myself together, he was already gone. Kay have mercy on his soul.
Who is this Kay you keep mentioning?
Outsiders, show some respect. Kay is our lord, our light, our love.
Sorry, I didn't know. I'll leave you to it. Take
All
care
right.
of yourself, Will.
Please, detective, sir, tell me the truth. Could it be me? Did I kill Paul? Or, Kay, did I kill him?
I don't know yet, Will. The police will stop anyone coming in or out of here, so I suggest you just try and get some rest.
I'm afraid of what I might dream.
Aren't we all?
I can barely recognize the face of the poor fella. He was beaten to a pulp.
That's my insanity going down, I'm guessing. Is this some creators who made, I think it is. I think it's the same creators who made, Sherlock Holmes. I know how to open these, but it's not letting me open it. Normally you press the little button that's right there to open it.
Never seen knives like this before. Masterful work. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much. So, that's what an Innsmouther looks like.
Glenna, Nehri, Glenna, Gebheil, Nukulina, Haftin.
Virtual cognition allows you to understand events that happened in the past and inspect enough evidence in the scene, and vision will emerge. Step into it and find all the critical scenes. Oh.
Never seen knives like this before. Seems like Prohibition hasn't affected Oakmont too much.
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
Down here.
What's happening?
Okay, let's see what we have here.
What's happening?
Take this, ape face. Yeah, run!
When Albert Throgmorton woke up, he was not himself. He attacked the fishermen, and his hysteria spread to them. When he got wounded, he fled. There was a fierce fight here, but someone tried to flee.
Let's see what you find, newcomer.
Ed, I still hear those voices.
This is a lot. Nothing else I can do in there? Okay.
My head. I still hear those voices.
What if I jump off from here? Take some damage. Oh no, right. Sorry, I figured out how to use the light.
So the fisherman pursued Albert, even let off a few shots.
Oh. Let's go this way.
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
I could climb that high. Nothing special. I'm wounded a bit. Alright, let me calm down before I lose my sanity. Those numbers. What is this?
There's something in the pocket.
Lewis, please just give me one more week. I know I owe you. I don't underwater like everyone else now. I don't yet have enough stock to operate this bar smoothly, with the fuzz snooping around the port. But don't worry, I've struck a nice deal with the proper people, and should have a steady supply channel soon. Just one more week, and I will return everything with double interest. Why do I feel like you're lying?
And the blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
Wait, am I able to craft stuff? It's starting to feel like Sherlock Holmes. Oh, excuse me. Starting to feel like Sherlock Holmes and
The door won't budge.
Can I shoot it? I mean, it's worth a try, right? Should I try to find a key? try to find the key. What's up here? Door won't open. Never mind. It might be a waste of bullet, but I'm gonna find out. Can I shoot it? I can. Ah, can I have melee it? What if I hear something nasty in there? I don't want to go in. Oh fuck, behind the door. Where are you?
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate.
That's just fucking weird. Nasty. Mine place. Let's see what my mine place says. Albert was murdered. Yes, I know that. Louis pursued Albert. Albert was murdered? Nope. Clues. Isn't this the bar? So you're saying he's hiding somewhere in here? I don't know where he might be hiding. They don't let me interact with that.
One fatal round through the forehead. That's no accident. This was deliberate. The blood is fresh. Whomever it belongs to could not have got far.
This door won't open either. Aww. This door won't open. Wait, this is not a bar. Is it? Map. What do I have? Oakmont City Port. I don't know what that is. Monaco Police Station. Double Reefs Hotel. Asylum. Hospital St. Mary's. Yeah, this game feels a lot like Sherlock Holmes and then The Evil Within, the second one.
Join in, newcomer. Praise the sea with us.
Yeah, no. Can I just take these off?
Even though Albert was wounded, he managed to climb that high. Robert wasn't exaggerating when he said he raised him strong.
So is this the bar or not? Nowhere to go. And I have no more clues. Oh, I found the body. Yeah, but where's the bar? Am I at the bar? I want to say I am the bar. No. Literally, the only place I could think of he's hiding is inside these things, but if this is the bar. Oh. Then we'll go back to the gorilla. Tell him what I found so far.
Mr. Throgmorton, I've encountered something,
What? I don't have all day.
some unusual creatures, and they sure weren't friendly.
You've seen a wild beast, Mr. Reed. I'm somewhat surprised to see you still alive. Those unsettling things appeared after the flood. I've commissioned a few studies on them, but we know little more than when we started. They're aggressive, but fortunately, not immune to gunfire.
Yeah, I learned that firsthand.
Try to avoid them when possible. And when you can't, keep your weapons handy.
Mr. Throgmorton, I found this in the lifeboat. Looks like it's your son's will.
Give it to me. Oh, my boy, what did you get yourself into? If only I hadn't sent you on that cursed expedition.
Mr. Throgmorton, I'm afraid I have bad news.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I found your son in the basement of a nearby warehouse. I'm sorry, but he was murdered. Shot in the head and the body hidden.
No. It cannot be true. No, no, no. I don't believe it. No.
My condolences, Mr. Throgmorton. I had hoped for a happier outcome.
Your condolences will not bring him back. So much of our blood spilt for nothing. So much effort in vain. My poor Albert. Tell me you know who did it. I want to look him in the eyes, make him beg for mercy.
Seems like he was a fisherman by the name of Lewis. He had a gun and pursued Albert after he fled the house.
Lewis it is, then. What do you know of him?
Turns out you were right. He's an Innsmouther.
Nah. Those filthy scum have done it now. When I'm through with them, they will rue the day they dared lay a finger on a Throgmorton. Bring me that dirtbag Lewis. He and I are due a reckoning. Do this for me, and I'll help you with anything you need.
Oh. Well, when you put it that way. Is there anything else I can do? Might as well just explore. Bar under the nail. Is this the bar right up ahead?
Oh. Hey, got a spare bullet, fella? I ain't eaten in days.
You want me to kill you?
You look familiar, but old Billy hasn't seen you around.
Stay alert! Monsters lurk underground. They're everywhere.
Ugh, I'll miss the carpenter's food giveaway with this darn port closure.
Don't do that again.
Welcome to Under the Keel. What do you want?
I'm looking for a man by the name of Lewis Flynn. Any chance he's here?
Yeah. Even if I knew, I don't rat to newcomers.
As it happens, I know you owe a debt to Mr. Flynn. Trouble is, I found your note near the dead body of Albert Throgmorton, son of Robert. So, it seems Lewis is in trouble. Might have even come here to hide. But you hand him over and he won't be back to collect what you owe. Get me?
Throck. That would explain the blood. Fine. If it gets me out of this mess, you can have him.
So?
He's upstairs. Here's the key. You gotta promise to deal with him, once and for all. But save the shooting for outside, huh?
Smart man. There's your good deed for the day.
Hey.
I've seen some unsettling creatures around. Like nothing I've ever encountered. What are they?
So you met a wild beast, newcomer. No one knows what they are, but consider yourself lucky to still be in one piece. They arrived in the flood. Some say they come from the sea. Others that they are Kay's punishment for us.
And what do you say?
If it bleeds, you can kill it. Keep your gun handy. And if you want to erase the memory, I sell a perfect cure right here. Remember, better to be a coward and live than brave and dead. Unless you're a newcomer.
didn't even say goodbye. I said goodbye. You're supposed to say goodbye. Now walk back here. You're not gonna tell me anything? Okay. Anything back here I should be looking into? Wait, I never checked. Can I make stuff? Lore skills, maybe? Oh, I have a skill. Knowledge point. Set traps twice as quickly. Keep an extra bullet loaded. Gain a chance to deal double damage. I'm gonna go with set traps, because look, the traps are gonna be useful.
What the? Get the... Oh.
What the get the oh?
Hey, who are you? What are you doing?
Charles
Oh,
Reed,
what the fuck's
private
wrong with you?
investigator. Mr. Throgmorton hired me to find his son Albert, so I think you know why I'm here.
Throg. That darn bartender. It was all that crazy ape's fault. You hear me?
Calm down. I only want to speak, for now. But no, if you reach for your gun, you'll hit the floor faster than you can say poetic justice.
I got nothing to hide.
Start at the beginning. What happened?
We were in our house, me, Paul, and Will. Barry'd gone to the sea. Though I told him that it would only bring bad luck. If he'd listened to me, we'd all still be alive.
Come on, Lewis. Focus.
Right. Well, Barry dragged that damn ape to our house. He was bragging about how much Mr. Throgmorton would give us for saving his son. But that ape, he was out cold. Then woke in an instant and started screaming, attacking us. After that, can't remember a thing.
You shot to kill. No warning, no second chances. You pursued Albert even after he fled. Why?
I can't remember it. When he woke, it was like a bloody mist descended over me. First thing I recall after is that darn warehouse and me covered in blood. I had no idea what happened, though. I suspected it had something to do with that ape. Turns out, I was right.
What kind of... why do you... your face, it's,
Oh, so you're here to attack me just because I look different to you? Wanna spit on me, whisper to your friends? What's new?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't know how to ask. I've just never met someone like you before. I didn't mean any offense.
Innsmouther's bodies were blessed by the sea. You're gonna see a lot of us here, so you better get over it. We are proud of who we are.
The things you did to Albert don't look like a bloody rage. A fatal shot to the head, a hidden body. One might start to wonder if it was deliberate.
I don't know what to say. I wasn't myself.
I hear there's a bit of a feud between the Innsmouthers and the Throgmortons. Care to fill me in?
Those apes hated us from the moment we arrived in Oakmont. Our home was destroyed. We just needed a place to stay. The Blackwood Grand family sheltered us, but others were not as hospitable. We needed jobs, food, and medicine. The city denied it all.
And so?
We had to fight for every crumb of bread. And those Throgmortons in their high castle only made our life harder, always conspiring behind our backs, always setting people against us. I'd love to see them suffer like we suffered.
You mentioned a grand family. What do you mean?
So you're a newcomer, huh? Explains a lot.
Yeah, a newcomer with a gun. Answer the question.
Okay. People here are crazy about bloodlines and tradition and reputation. The head honchos of Oakmont are called the Grand Families. There's the carpenters who control most of the city's underworld,
The Blackwoods, who share kin with Innsmouthers through the Marsh family.
And let me guess, the Throgmortons.
Right. Those filthy apes. Now that most of the Blackwoods are gone, there's nobody left to protect us Innsmouthers.
I think I've got all I need.
Please, Mr. Reed, don't tell Throgmorton about me. I know I'm in no position to ask. I didn't want to do whatever it is I did. Honest. Have mercy, please. I have a family. Without me, they'll starve.
This is not exactly cut and dry. I need some time to think.
Perhaps I can offer something to grease your grinds. I still have a few bullets on me.
I don't know what to do, guys.
You think you're the first person to offer me a bribe?
Please, Mr. Reed.
Now, don't try my patience further, Mr. Flynn.
I have to think about this, because if he's lying and... I don't know what to choose. Let's keep this decision for the next episode. How about that, guys? Yeah, I'm gonna call it quits here. By next episode, I'll tell you guys. You guys find out what I choose. In the meantime, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll be back soon enough with another episode. Other than that, I'll see you guys next time.